Hey,
back
we're
now.
back.
Oh, wow.
So that's our good friend Remo, urban grower. Remo Nutrients, yay. Give him the plug. Urban Remo, yeah. Oh, well, like I think it was last week we had the videos of, we were quadding. I think we put up the quad vids. We were out in the gravel pit, running around in the quads. That was a lot of fun. We're going, as soon as I'm healed up a little more, we're going dirt biking. And we're going to film that in the bush. We're going enduro. Was it enduro
When is this?
riding? Soon, coming up. Going enduro riding in the bush.
I want to come.
You want to come?
I want to come.
You want to come? All right.
I
well,
used to own lots of ATVs. It's been
no,
a while.
no,
but I'd
no.
love
Biking,
to come.
motorcycles. We
Wow.
did the ATV. And now
I'll
we're
bring-
now
I'll
we're
bring
going
ATV. I
on.
can't
No,
go
no. Where we're
motorcycle.
going now, you can't take. It's the trails too shoot. You can't bring an ATV. That's the whole idea. It's you need the bikes. That's
Well, I
it's a
can't
different
do
kind of
that.
riding.
I'm broken.
Yeah, I know.
I got a metal
see.
plate and 6 screws in both my legs and no center of balance. ATV's all right.
Yeah.
RoboCop, yeah, they didn't give me any gun
Like
attachments or
Robo
anything.
Girl.
Yeah, there's
RoboCat.
Hoverboard.
Cyborg.
no hoverboard. That would be
Hoverboard.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wasn't this the year we were supposed to get them to, 2015? I don't
I
see any
know.
hoverboards.
Check under the Christmas tree this year.
Where's Marty McFly? It is 2015. We have to go to California, I guess. What's it? Hill Valley?
Hill
Well,
Valley.
I went there and they had Google Glasses, no hoverboards. Yeah.
No, they actually, at Universal Studios, they still have the courtyard in Back to the Future, the big clock tower and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, the
For a
square,
long
this
time.
town square.
Yeah, the town square. It was there at least when I went to Universal Studios, which was a while ago now. But
Just in case.
yeah, it was all
Just-
there.
just
so
in
I
case.
kind of thought that was Hill Valley.
Just well, just in case they want to make another movie, right?
yeah. Well, they did have a Back to the Future ride, and it was pretty kick-ass.
Oh, yeah, they've played that franchise to death, no question. It was worth it though. It's good.
I'm glad they didn't. Robert Zemeckis said that he will never make another Back to the Future movie until after he'd have to be dead before they redo the series.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he says he doesn't want to ruin it because he likes it the way it is. I
Yeah,
agree.
no, exactly.
I
It should
agree,
just
100%.
just leave it alone.
Yeah,
You know.
unless J.J. Abrams is going to do it, and then let him have whatever he wants.
That's what happens nowadays though. They're not making any good movies. They just keep remaking all the good movies, which kind of sucks. There's not putting the money into the big productions anymore. It's just not happening.
Did you take one?
I did. I took it when we were watching Remo at the
Yeah, that's
really
Grape
good.
God. That's pretty good.
doing his thing. That is good.
Really nice. I'm taking another one.
So Rufus, anyways, he's gonna get his prize. We
gonna
should
do a
probably
I have some
we should probably
seeds.
give more marijuana. Oh yeah. Well, I got seeds for Rufus. He's gonna get Actually, I said we're gonna throw in some extra shit for the kerfuffle. What's that, sir?
Nothing. I'm going to try and get a picture.
A picture, a photo.
Yeah.
Well,
Photo-
on
Should I
the
wait
air.
till-
Picture
Oh, look,
on the air.
photographer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Really?
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, now we'll get one here, that way. See how that's like.
Selfies
get a
on
picture of us,
on
right?
the
On the
420
air, like,
lifestyle
really,
show. We're
that's
taking selfies. Does anybody have a selfie stick we can borrow? Yeah.
We should have just a selfie show, and people can
No,
just
that's
take
fine.
selfies.
Isn't it? Aren't you allowed to do that?
Am I boring you, sir?
No,
He's
no,
taking selfies.
Hey man, isn't that the normal thing now?
Just smile on, mate. We'll get that in.
They just have the radio in
This
Nimbin,
is-
so I was there for a few times to do that. And you can take
No, yeah,
pictures,
we'll
no one
do that
knows.
again.
That's
because they can't
radio,
see
though.
you.
Total
Yeah,
obsession.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
Total
Oh, that's
obsession.
hilarious.
Selfies everywhere.
Right there, right now,
They-
yes.
they would
Just wave,
understand.
wave high,
Hey,
and that was
thanks
you
for that.
taking selfies,
Yeah.
Speaking of radio, you just said the words radio, and
Radio.
I
We
for some
did.
reason really like radio, like old radio,
Yeah, me
and
too.
the
Well,
old
I was
concept
a
of
regular
radio.
on CHLY, a couple
I know
years
you
ago.
were. I
Yeah.
love CHLY.
I used to play
That's
go
a
on
radio
CHLY all the
station in
time.
Nanaimo that we at my office in
Malaspina.
Malaspina helped create.
That's right.
But yeah, there's a radio station out. Came out yesterday. You guys know I'm an Apple fanboy. Apple.
Me too. Look, mine's even
Apple
bigger
Music.
than yours.
Uh-oh.
Beats One.
Oh boy, we're having
Beats One.
a
Did you guys tune into Beats One?
dick
This shit
waving
is
con-
the
phone
dope
waving
shit.
contest.
So on Saturday, I listened to Dre's show. Dr. Dre has his own radio show now called The Pharmacy on Beats One.
Did you listen to it on your Beats?
I
Did you have your
no,
Beats
I don't
on?
have any Beats headphones. No.
Well, then
I
you
should
can't get
probably
the
get
full
them there.
effect of Dr.
You're right.
Dre.
Listen to
Damn,
Dr.
you're
Dre
right.
Without Beats
How-
I
headphones.
never bought a pair. I always
Especially-
thought they were overpriced.
It's like
You should
1
have-
point for Dr. Dre, negative point.
I have a nice pair of
for
Sonys.
Jeremiah.
You're waiting for the Apple headphone?
I do use my Apple headphones even more than my Sony big headphones because the Apple little earbuds are totally kick-ass and they make the sound really nice. They actually work.
Yeah.
But I wasn't listening to it. I was listening to it on my home stereo system, which sounds much better than both of those things. My home stereo is much nicer. They're like 12-inch subs. It's better than...
I've heard your home stereo. It's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's
I've
not-
been here.
My neighbors don't like it,
I'm
but
listening.
I do.
Good radio.
Hey,
But check out Beats One. It's really good. It's not just Dre. There's a whole bunch of really good DJs and shit. If you like radio,
That's
I
what it's
think
called?
dope.
Beats One?
Beats One, yeah.
That's the Apple
There's
station.
over like 100 countries it's being pumped out to right now to all of Apple's iTunes properties. So everybody's listening right now. It's the first time that there's been like homogenous media. I'm a media studies student, so I like all these weird sort of changes in media and stuff. What's
Like
happened?
my car. It's got over 100 sources of radio.
Oh, well, you know, it's weird, though, because right now in the internet, the new media is media that's all fractured. Everybody kind of just does their own thing. Everybody goes to their own form of media. You pick and choose what you want to go and watch.
Have you been reading my show notes? Because
haven't.
I've got a story about this.
Oh, really? No, I
Yeah.
haven't been reading them, but I should have.
I know. So, see, I just wanted to say no, because
And this
it's
is
just
the-
so people know that we haven't caught. This is just ties
The
in.
time people watch a show that's all together is like 9/11 happening or some big news event, the World Cup or something. some
Yeah, it was a
sports
Stanley
event.
Cup event or something. Yeah.
That's the only time that everybody watches the same thing anymore. And so it's kind of cool to see a radio station that everybody is kind of tuned into. It's really actually very popular right now. So it's kind
Well,
of fun.
and here it is. I wanted to bring up. I've talked about this in the last few shows. Another story, once again, in the CBC, how more and more Canadians are lining up to cut the cable TV. They're getting rid of cable.
Good.
I haven't had cable in 4 years.
I think it's 3
It's
going
become
on something
useless.
now for me. But it's interesting here. It says a growing number of Canadians are ditching traditional television subscriptions, cable television. May of this year said that more than half of Canadians currently without cable have cut the cord, meaning they had television and canceled it.
I canceled
Which
my
is more
cable.
important than just people who didn't have it in the
Except
first
cable
place.
internet. Kept that.
Yeah, but no, but the cable television, they've got
Internet.
rid
Still
of.
own
They've
it.
got rid of TV.
Same people.
And it basically says, with the prevalence of TV content on the internet and Netflix, everybody's finding another way to find their fix. They don't
I have a
need.
television
awesome,
that has
actually.
never used cable television, ever.
Though I
It's
like
internet only and a source to be like another monitor for my computer.
Well,
CNN
we're up
because
4% from 3 years ago to
24/7.
16% of Canadian households that do not pay for traditional TV service. So we're at, what are we at? 16% right now. It's up from 12% 3 years ago.
Wow.
So that's a significant rise. And I mean, the last
Well, we've
story I
also
read.
seen the death in DVD rentals. VHS rentals are gone. Like
Oh yeah,
Blockbuster's
video
gone.
video rental
Video
stores
stores.
are gone. Yeah,
There's
all
no
gone.
more video stores at all anywhere.
unless Port Alberni.
Well, if
No,
you go
no,
to
there's Port
Yukon,
Alberni has
yeah.
one.
Port Alberni.
And Port Alberni.
We have
And,
One in Nanaimo also
like
has
Yellowknife
one.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Nanaimo I think only has one or two.
Yeah, it's an independent in Alberni too. You know, and the interesting thing.
Commercial, there's
Apparently
still
there's one on
Black
Commercial
Dog,
Drive.
Black Dog Video.
That's right, Black Dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll probably be around forever. And there's Videomatica, but I think did they close? On 4th. West 4th, it was a big ass one. It was the biggest video store in Vancouver. It was like the dopest fucking video store
There's
ever.
Willow Video
It was
in
so
Langley.
awesome.
They're pretty big.
A couple years ago, I remember putting up a post, I think, saying like, about what the conversation at the video store, and I think that was the comments underneath were like, "You have a video store?" Like, never mind the story. What I was
No, it's
talking
fucked
about,
up.
it was people were like shocked that it
Media
was. What do you mean
changes
you went
so
to a
fast.
video store? But we went to
You can
Australia
thank
though.
Steve
Remember,
Jobs
we
for
walked
that
by
one.
Yeah, we
tons
saw
and
so many. I was
tons
like,
of video
what the hell
stores,
is that?
and they still have VHS tapes they're renting
Oh,
in
there's some
Australia.
in the back.
Netflix
Some in the
probably
back.
did.
So messed up.
Yeah, they're
Mostly DVDs though.
Yeah, and Blu-ray and stuff.
Yeah.
but they still got lots of VHS tapes.
But it is turning.
You
You
know
know,
what?
they're shutting down. I think we're probably past the tipping point where there's more vinyl record shops now than CD shop or
Oh yeah, man! I bought a lot
rentals,
of
yeah.
vinyl when I was out there. Same when I was
For
in
sure.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
A lot of vinyl.
Because
brought home.
DJs still spin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know-
No, that's a different
You know what
thing.
killed the DVD rentals and video rentals, I think, even more than the internet, was on-demand video from the cable companies. So, the stuff that was like, you can just order it with your remote.
Oh, like
sitting in your living room.
UFC events
Yeah.
and things like that,
All
pay-per-view.
that
Made
you can
it
get-
too convenient. You didn't
Yeah.
have to wait anymore. You could just go get it.
Yeah.
Click. Done.
On your TV right
Everybody
away.
loves
Bam.
self-gratification. That instant And that's why these things are so awesome.
And everybody's got a little panel now.
It's 5 o'clock. It's after 5, and that means we have to give away marijuana.
That sounds awesome.
What?
Yeah,
We just give it away here.
Yeah, just give it away.
Yeah.
In fact, 3 Happy Cats is giving out some goodies.
From our 3 Happy Cats is here giving out, I like to call it the puff stuff.
The puff stuff.
Yeah, because that could mean anything.
Some nip.
Some
catnip.
nip.
Catnip, I love it.
Kitty
Some free
drugs.
happy
Kitty
catnip.
drugs.
All right.
Say weed. Weed.
3 Happy Cats.
All right. So
More photos,
I need
more photos.
I need drugs. We need
right.
guessing drugs. That looks like a great guessing drug.
How much would it just give you like a handful or something, and you just?
Yeah. Random amount.
All right.
All right.
What are you doing here?
We're gonna get people to guess,
Watch.
and then
You'll learn.
just watch.
Wow.
Watch and learn.
Okay.
Awesome. And then we
All
give
right.
people weed.
You're all ready there, my friend. Our producer Tommy's on it.
Tommy Bong.
Yo.
Tommy Bong.
All right. I'm going to switch over to the handheld bud cam. We're going to hand bomber.
I've heard of bud cams. Is that?
This one's gonna get up and close. They can look at the weed.
Yeah.
And we're just going to put this weed right there. How's that going to work out, sir, if we do it that way? Yeah, that looking good? So if you guys in the chat who want to play, want to take a guess, one guess only, you must have a Canadian mailing address. And you can play. That's the rules. Tell me how much does that pile of marijuana weigh?
Jeez.
Yes, marijuana. Here, I'll throw something in there for reference for
That's easy.
size. This nice cannabis culture lighter.
You like those? I got those at the front.
Available here at 307 West Hastings, Cannabis Culture Lounge, as well as in the store downstairs on the ground floor. Come on by and say hi to Mark. Check out what's going on. All right. I think that's long enough. We'll just put the camera on the white rabbit there.
That's awesome on the White Rabbit.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know I've got one, except my White Rabbit seems to have a really Australian tan.
Sure
So,
has.
Tommy, what kind of...
No, wait,
oh, you don't have a mic, do you?
Dark rabbit.
All right. Yell it out, brother.
3.1, 5.1, 4.6, 6.7, 5.3, 5.5, 3.5, 4.2, 3.6, 6.5, 2.3, 2.7, 4.5, 3.2. There's another 3.2.
All right, we have a winner.
What?
We've got a winner. There you go. I'll let you take that back.
That was a
the
lot
weed.
of numbers.
Who's got the 2.7 on there? Well, Dr. Clone, you're the winner. We know Dr. Clone. He's usually sitting in the studio audience here.
Really?
but-
That's why I looked around for a second.
I know. I
He's
know.
not here.
Where the hell are you? Are you in the upstairs
Clone?
playing on the 3rd floor?
That would be pretty funny if he
Yeah, it
was.
would be. Well, congratulations, Dr. Clone.
He was right at the
Yes,
money.
it was 2.7 was the
Wow,
weight.
there you
So,
go.
you know what? We'll look after you.
Not bad.
You know what to do. Can I? Oh, where's that lid thing?
Right on the money.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No worries.
That's a brilliant sport.
You like that game?
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, we test your eyeballing skills, right?
Yeah.
And some of those guys who were like guessing like 5, something like that, we says, oh yeah, well, come on, when you need to buy some weed, come see me.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't want
Yeah.
to buy off them.
No, we want to sell to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Sure.
they think that was 5 grams. It's like,
Yeah.
here you go. Yeah, that's 5 grams. It was
Yeah,
like
it's
2
all
grams.
relative,
No,
yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. We don't do that. It's kind of the joke, though. We used to sell at Vapor Central people who guess like ridiculously high, you know, like, 15 grams or 8 grams. You'd have like 2 grams. Everybody would, everybody go like, what?
Yeah.
Where
Looking
did
at
you
him
get
like,
that number from?
how stoned are you,
Yeah.
dude? Like, you think that's what? Here
I've been
comes
at Vapor
Budsy.
Central a few times for
Hey.
that. It's been
There's the
fun.
bud cam. You should get
Yeah,
that.
there's Budsy. Let's see if we can get him on there.
I saw that. That's the aggressive one. I saw it before.
He's checking for mice.
Yeah.
He's hungry. Snack time.
Yeah.
I sat here one afternoon a couple weeks ago.
The rats.
Before the show was on and we were setting up. And I watched a mouse run underneath the couch there, and I watched Bud because he was laying on the floor in the middle of the lounge, just.
I didn't want to do anything.
No, I told Greg. He
Lazy-ass
said, "That's
cats.
it. No treats for you for a while."
They're not pulling their weight.
No, slacking.
And with Buds, that's a lot of weight. He's a heavy cat.
Oh, he's a big boy. That one. He's
Don't
big.
be picking on the cat, okay?
I wasn't picking on it.
Insulting him. He's sensitive about his
You don't
weight.
watch
I
Robot
won't
Chicken
pull your
cats
tail.
are jerks, you know? Like I wouldn't test that.
Yeah, they.
Hey, did you see the article in the Georgia Straight? Just came out.
Which
Straight.com about John Baglow's article.
I don't know.
Conservative death throes.
Oh, I did read that one.
I did not read that.
You didn't read that
he
one?
calls him a wounded animal and all that.
This is good.
Okay, read it to us.
All right, here it is.
Good.
An animal is most dangerous when it's wounded, they say, and the Conservative Party of Canada has been metaphorically bearing that out for months. Sinking steadily in the polls, it has sought to further impose its brand of Sado politics upon our long-suffering country, even against its own best interests. In its last days, it has been showing its teeth, snapping and snarling, jamming the union-busting bill C-377 through the Senate, tearing at the fabric of free collective bargaining with the omnibus bill C-59, spiking a transgender rights bill, and tabling legislation to forbid Muslim women from taking the oath of citizenship in the traditional niqab dress. If passed, Bill C-24, formally establishing two classes of citizenship, it introduced an act to condemn some criminals to life without parole, and it cribbed American voter suppression legislation to make it more difficult for First Nations students and the poor to exercise their franchise.
Whoa.
Can you go
Wow.
over that part about not being able to wear the traditional
Niqab?
dress? Yes, please say that to me one more time.
Sure. Omnibus Bill C-59, spiking, and they also spiked a transgender rights bill, also tabling legislation to forbid Muslim women from taking the oath of citizenship in traditional niqab dress. That's
Thank
like
you.
the head covering.
Yes, I appreciate that.
All right, well, and it goes on to say that the fact the Supreme Court of Canada is unlikely to allow any of these profoundly unconstitutional measures to last. Harper has already racked up a string of losses before them, but the rule of law, as we have seen during the seemingly endless series of scandals, which began, in fact, even before the 2006 election, and legislative jiggery-pokery.
Whoa.
I'm just reading it here.
Jittery pokery?
Jiggery-pokery.
Jiggery pokery.
Jiggery-pokery.
That's the wording.
That's the word of the day, folks.
What is this
Jiggery-pokery.
newspaper 100 years old?
I don't know. No, this
Seems
just
to be
came
right
out.
up
This
on the
just
spot.
came out. This is like on the other day, today.
I know.
Seems it's just a minor annoyance for the Conservatives when they're on a
old-timey.
tear. Like Parliament itself, in fact, since 2011, the Conservatives have shut down debate more than 100 times. Harper has distinguished himself as the only Prime Minister in Canadian history to be found guilty of contempt of Parliament. They've been spending scads of our money on blatantly partisan advertising, activities, and personal I don't even know how to say this word, aggrandizement. I think it's another made-up word.
Aggrandizement?
Aggrandizement. Yes, that is it. Thank you.
That's a beauty.
Harper surrounded himself with
Aggrandized
criminals
word.
and lowlifes to further his agenda. It's all smacks of political racketeering. I mean, this is a great article. They just tear the Conservatives a complete. But it's true. It's like, and it's not just the death throes of the Conservative Party, but if we look around, what's going on with City Hall and the dispensary shit and all this stuff going on right here, same thing. Prohibition is also in its death throes. And that's when they get nasty. And they just, there's always going to be that bite back for a little while until all the dust settles.
Well, even when pot is legalized, I think there's still going to be this kind of like scuffling about the regulations in order to regulate the legal dispensaries as well. Just like in Amsterdam, where they have these legalized coffee shops where you can go in and get your pot and hang out on the street, and everybody's smoking weed, hanging out on the street, drinking beer and everything.
You can't smoke pot in the streets there. It's only inside.
Well,
Yeah.
but the door is completely. So when there is a door, mostly sometimes there's no door. It's like completely open. And
Oh, the smell
the
wafts.
smell comes out. There's people
Yeah.
literally. What I mean is they're hanging out of the thing. It's like they're not quite on the street, but they're like almost. Some of them you're almost sitting in the alley. They have like fold-out tables that fold out because they're so small. These little places that they fold the tables up at night, and then when they open the doors, they can fold the table out, and it like goes out into the alleys. And so you are kind of drifting into them, and but you can't drink at them anymore. You can't. They won't allow you to serve alcohol and smoke there. But the weird thing is, the pot before it gets to the coffee shop is completely illegal, and anybody that's
and they have
caught,
runners that do it for them, yeah.
the runners,
Yeah.
if they get popped, that's an illegal thing. They have to pay like I think it's a $4,000 fine. But because that's a taxation system in an indirect way to the owners of the businesses, they don't even care. They're like, whatever, we'll just pay the $4,000. It's a lot less than paying yearly taxes and all these different ways for distribution of marijuana and all these, whatever has to happen on that
Yeah, there's
side
no
of it.
real working system. It has always been a system of tolerance. That's
Right.
all. It's just that's.
They are making some new restrictions now, though. Like, you're not allowed to buy so many seeds. You can only buy so many grams when you're in the store.
Oh, yeah.
They can only serve you once a day. But, I mean, you can just keep
But
going to
it's
cafe to
still a
cafe to
tolerance thing. It's not
Absolutely.
legal. It's
Well,
still
they
not
don't-
legal. It's
They
tolerated.
didn't tolerate the High Times Cannabis Cup.
Yeah,
in
they did
Amsterdam.
not. That was the
No.
first time they went totally
And that's
crazy over
exactly. There has been pushback.
Yeah.
Prohibition's still pushing back, even though we, like Vancouver's been so tolerant for so many years with our 420
Yeah.
farmers market. It's, people often, what the hell? How do you guys do that?
Yeah.
They're always asking, how do you do it? How do you do
It's
it?
true.
So,
Well, now they're not being so tolerant.
speaking of our events that we do, one of the things we noticed that this year there was that cop walking around with the camera.
Yeah.
And he
on
was
the
right
pole.
in everyone's
And he was
face.
in
It really
everybody's
not
face.
cool.
No,
So
they were scary.
one of the things that I thought we should have, and anybody who wants this can take this idea, you can have it. I'm giving this away for free. Is I thought, and I think it'd be kind of cool, is to have an umbrella squad. Basically, couple dozen people with umbrellas, and it really works good if you've got like a little sort of song and dance routine. But you can actually write a message on the umbrellas. You can have them all with one letter and all line up and say something. But the idea is you go to the events and you walk around your umbrellas and just get in the way of the cops and the cameras at all the time. You're always kind of blocking with the umbrellas. Getting a guy, just follow that cop around, and if not you, then the next person does it, or a group. Everybody just start, do your little routine and pop your umbrellas and, give them the message. But just keep that shit going all day long. Just follow the guys around with your umbrellas. It's a hot, sunny day. You can angle it until you don't have to be like sticking it in their face. They'll think it's a weapon. So, but there's ways of eliminating
You do
their
it
viewpoint
politely.
from that camera thing, where they realize, like
Civil disobedience of their
civil
surveillance.
disobedience, and it's like if you want to be antagonistic, great, we'll give you something to look at. Here you go, bingo. This is what we do. We're not causing a problem, and it's a nice way to get a message back. Like you can write down like
peaceful
smile
civil
or something.
disobedience.
I don't know.
It's
Or
disruptive.
happy faces on the umbrellas would be funny as hell.
We're allowed to demonstrate and
Exactly.
peacefully assemble together.
No masks. How about, listen, we don't have masks, we have umbrellas.
Yeah, we don't have masks. I wonder if there's some way to push the envelope on that when it comes to a gas mask to prevent being pepper sprayed or injured in
Well,
the
then you
midst
know
of
what it is. Then you got to have it with you and only put it on if they decide to deploy tear gas, then or pepper spray. Putting them on at that point, it's not protesting in mass, you're putting on protective gear. And I think there's no law against that. You can't say you're not allowed to protect yourselves with gear against the police when they decide to pepper spray you. It's like, but even simpler
Maybe
is just
sort of
having
large goggles.
You're not allowed
or
a mask,
something.
though.
Yeah, I was
Can I
just
get, bee goggles or something and protect
No.
myself from pepper spray. I don't know.
use
Big goggles, they have a
the.
little pull-down mask on the
Actually, if you go to
Not
a
a bad idea.
construction safety supply, where they sell first aid gear and construction stuff, you can get It's just a headband with a plastic shield that comes down over your
That's
face.
not, exactly, that's not a face cover.
And it's
Yeah.
and it's clear. You're still seen.
There you go.
But you
That's
don't.
not a mask.
You can't get. It's easy to take off, mind you,
T-shirt
but
says,
it's
"I do not wish to
you
be
can't
pepper
get pepper
sprayed."
sprayed at a distance.
Don't
Like
pepper spray me, bro.
from here, if you can't touch me, you can pepper spray me all you want. It's not getting on my face anywhere here, and
Did
that's
you get
that's
that
the
shit
trick.
on you?
No, I was on the other side, but I did get it on camera.
Tastes peppery.
I've been pepper sprayed before. Oh yes, no, I've got
sorry,
the full
guys,
brunt
that
of pepper
sucks.
spray and went to the hospital and the whole bit.
There were a couple people who got really badly juiced with it, like.
Yeah,
right
no,
in the
I
face.
saw that right in the face.
I
We
didn't
got
get it bad,
video.
but later-
Pod TV has the videos. You can go up and check them out.
That shit, when the danger also is that it sticks all over you. And I sat down later. I didn't get any in my eyes. I just tasted it at first. And then later when I sat down and I rubbed my shoulder and then rubbed my eyes.
Oh, God.
Put a big huge chunk in this eye. And,
That's
yeah,
bad.
It was, but that was like an hour and a half afterwards. So it definitely hangs around for a while. That
Oh,
stuff's
yeah.
crazy stuff. I don't know what they use, but we need like a shield.
It's capsaicin. It is. It's capsaicin.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Capsaicin is the chemical that's in hot peppers.
Oh, it's in peppers.
Yes, it is. That's what's called pepper spray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was delicious.
Yeah.
It makes a great salad dressing.
Good on a burrito.
Yeah, it's there's actually in a really store that carries all those fancy like hot sauces. I've seen one. I think they may have taken it off the market. There used to be something out in the market called Pure Cap. And it was literally a bottle of clear liquid and it was pure capsaicin. And you'd literally like put one drop in a big pot of chili like that and people are like "Ah!" screaming and yelling.
Mr. Magnuson's in the
There he
house.
is, Neil Magnuson, brother. Hey, hey.
You should come and sit on the show and talk.
Come sit down, buddy. As a matter of fact, it's good. I'm glad you're here. Because I just wanted to mention, we're going to do the countdown calendar here. I'm going to mention what's coming up, and you're right at the top of the list.
The lengths I go to get on your show, eh?
Yeah, that's it. You got to go get beat up to get on my show, brother. By cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just a cop or a couple cops. I mean, you
No,
gotta
the
have
whole
a dozen
fucking
or more.
shitload. Yeah. But July 8th, this Wednesday, day after tomorrow, Neil's going to court for his Cannabis Day contribution and taking one for the team there. And
We're gonna smoke some weed at the courthouse.
oh, I sure hope so. We smoke weed everywhere we go. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a given.
And we share it. We
Hell
share
yeah.
it, you know? And that's trafficking. And so they had
No,
to
no,
wait.
it's not.
had
They
to wait.
said it's trafficking. I don't agree with
Well,
that.
but that's according to the law. So they had to wait. They had to wait until I pulled my jars out. I mean, we were all sharing joints there that morning. And they say I sold to a minor afterwards. They never certainly said anything like that to me ahead of time. I would never, ever do that. I wouldn't sell to a kid.
No,
I
no,
didn't
that's a
sell to-
minor detail.
I didn't sell to anybody that couldn't drive a car, join the military, or get married. So, you know.
There you go. Minor details.
Yes, minor details. But you know, if I sold to a minor, if there was some young kid that came up to my table and I was actually handing him some weed, all those cops standing there, I mean, wouldn't it have been their obligation to like burst in at that moment and protect that young person?
Yes,
And-
at that moment, that was appropriate.
Or as
Not,
that
you
young
know,
person stepped away to
much,
take him aside and go, "What did you just buy off that guy?"
Yeah.
And then because that makes real police work. All right, hang on for a second. I just want to run through this quick list of what's coming up, and we'll get this out of the way, and we'll talk some more. On July the 9th, on Thursday, this is another very important event. It's Doobies for Boobies. And that's right, the third annual one at the Underground Cafe and Social Club, 670 Queen Street East in Toronto.
I
Yeah.
got doobies. You mean I can have boobies?
Doobies for Boobies. That's check it out. It's a fundraiser it's for Mike Rita's sister who was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. So it's the third comedy show. Doors open at 8, show at 9. It's hosted by Mike Rita. Headlined by Paul Thompson with performances by Chris Robinson, who's coming here soon, and I'm hoping we'll get him to do a show here. He's a great comedian. Nitish Sakahuja, Asaya Brown, and Bobby Knopf, who Bobby is really funny too. He actually works also for Joey Puff Mama there at the Underground Comedy Club and Cafe Social Club. More hilarious acts to be announced. Burlesque by Svetlana Conswallow. Music by Hip Hop, DNA Hip Hop. $20 if you're just coming for the show. All the money we raise at the door from the Smoke-a-thon will be donated to our good friend Mike Rita's sister, and that's to do with, Doobies for Boobies. That's a great cause. They're on Facebook. Check it out. July 10th, 11th, and 12th, that's right, this weekend, the Kush Cup is going to be here. And on the 11th, Saturday, the Trailer Park Boys.
We're all judges. All four.
We're all judges. The Happy Cats are there judging, so we'll be there in force, kicking it
Thanks to
down
three
and
Happy
hanging
Cats.
out. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
July 18th, the Haley Rose Foundation is excited to announce that we have adopted a block through the Keep Vancouver Spectacular program. For the next 2 years, we'll be keeping Grandview Highway clean between Victoria and Clark Drive. This is first of many community cleanups, and if you're looking, and they are looking for volunteers to come and help. A couple hours, 2 days a month. That's not much. Looking at the second and fourth Saturday of every month. If you would like to help, head over to Trout Lake for some fun in the sun. Or at the end, we're going to try to head over to Trout Lake for fun in the sun. Anyways, that's on Facebook. Check it out. It's a good cause. On July the 19th, the Brantford Yart Sale. Y-A-R-T. That's a yard sale, but they're selling art. Ah, yeah. Yes, there's no mistake. It's an art yard sale. From 8 to 2 in the driveway of 115 Chestnut Avenue in Brantford. Local artists will be displaying their art. It's to get a free spot to display your art. Inbox them. They're also on Facebook. Check them out, the Brantford Cannabis Club. They do a lot of great work.
Are we just talking about random cannabis events that are coming up? Is that what we're doing here?
It's kind of stuff that I get invited to.
Stuff you get invited to? Okay,
On
well,
Facebook, people send me stuff.
I'm going to throw another kinky cannabis party, and it will be here on the second floor. I just haven't decided what date it will be.
Oh, so, well, let me know, and I'll put it on the countdown calendar.
Out for that one.
Kinky cannabis party here. We're going to be, that sounds like fun.
I've never done kink. I was going to wait till I was 60.
Yeah?
60, well,
I'm close now, so
why
I
are
think
you
maybe
waiting?
I'll go for it.
Why wait till you're
Why are you
60?
waiting?
I mean,
I was born a good Christian boy, you know.
A good Christian boy, so like
You,
wait till the
you
end
need to
so
sit
that-
back, get on YouTube, and look at some George Carlin shit about, and then talk to me, all right? About being.
and put it on pay-per-view. I love that guy.
Yeah, no fooling. Hey, that's like that spot right there is for the Carlin tattoo that's going on. Complete my upper arm.
He's
Hell
got some
yes.
great ideas of what we should do with people that are in the correctional system. And it all ends with on pay-per-view, of course.
See, reality TV.
Reality? So, Tony, what is it you were charged with exactly? You were charged with possession for the purpose of trafficking.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
What are the charges?
Just charged with trafficking a controlled substance. I imagine that's passing joints. I don't know.
Okay.
And obstruction. And I'm not sure where there was any obstruction, although I'm trying to obstruct these stupid laws.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't resist arrest. I had other people try to resist me being arrested. And they were very forceful in their arrest. I'm not sure how much alcohol was dispensed to minors on that day in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. I didn't see any response to that, anything close to what the response to me was, and I wasn't even selling to a minor. But yeah, I'm still on that. I'm so upset about that. They're slandering me big time. I value my integrity and my reputation. And I've had kids come up to me at these rallies numerous times over the last 10 years and 11 years, and you know what a kid
I
is.
just
It's like, hey,
trafficked you,
mister,
Neil.
right? And I've never sold to a kid. I've always taken the time to try to educate the young person. And I've told them to come back with a parent. I don't think that's ever happened. But I've certainly never sold to a kid.
I know you, and you're probably one of the most responsible people in that aspect that I know.
Thanks. I try to be that
guarantee.
way.
No, you're very outspoken about it. There's no question.
So, yeah, it's not right that they said what they said. I'm very unhappy with CKNW and especially Bruce Allen. I never I seldom like what Bruce Allen has to say, but this time was over the top. They certainly vilified me and convicted me in the court of public opinion, all based on lies, misinformation, and what the VPD had to say. And that's not right. So I've written a couple letters to CKNW. I'm appealing for them to give me some time to answer to those charges that they convicted me of. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
But,
Right on.
But that's what the VPD was there to do. You see, that was their plan for the day. They were going to arrest a dealer that day for selling to youth because that's the complaint that they get after every one of our rallies.
Absolutely. They had to have they needed a Trojan
horse.
horse, or they needed a scapegoat. Yeah.
Yeah.
They needed a scapegoat, and they came down in force. They puffed and huffed.
Oh,
That's
man.
what we were said. That's what Jeremiah was here earlier. We talked about that.
Yeah.
They were already there, and they were just waiting. They just needed somebody to say, that's the guy.
Yep.
And we're taking you.
And I'd been the one that had shut them down on trying to keep our tents from going up by telling them that I was an officer of the Marijuana Party of Canada and we had every right in an election year to set up anywhere we want in the city and campaign.
Yeah. No, I know.
So I backed them off on that. So I was sure I was a target of theirs. But very
well, you can't
visual.
really campaign yet because the writ's not been dropped. You got that.
Oh, no, that's old law. That's old law. We can campaign now before the writ goes down. Yes, we
well,
can.
it's not campaign. It's got to be something. It's like a PAC or something now. You can't actually
I
be
talked to our party
officially...
president this morning. We were fully within our rights there. He talked about that, how they changed that law last year. We were fully within our rights to do what we did.
Oh, you can like be giving out information and stuff, but it's not actively campaigning for the election.
Well, we were
yet.
able to sell memberships anytime we want.
Yeah, you can
actually.
do that. Yeah, that's what I mean. You
Yep.
can do that. Yeah, there's that.
And we're able
fine
to
line.
give cannabis away anytime we want.
Yeah,
as a
it's
marijuana
not
party.
officially a campaign because there's that. You got to.
Yeah,
so
our
many
campaign
days
hasn't
before.
launched
No,
with the
that's
writ,
what I'm saying.
but we are allowed to do what we did.
Membership drive, yes,
Absolutely.
and hand out information.
We had
and
every right to be
awareness.
there, and they knew that, and that's
Yeah.
why they backed off on that.
Of course, yeah. No, we were. Yeah.
So they didn't like me very much to the start. And also, this was a different group of cops than we'd ever seen at our rallies before. None of the familiar faces were
No.
there. I've done a lot of groundwork over the years with those other officers that we meet every year, that they know me.
You're
they know what
talking.
I'm all
Yeah,
about.
exactly. They know who you are.
But these guys, I mean, they didn't. They had no understanding of the type of person I was. I don't think. I think they just saw me as a criminal and someone to stop or whatever. Maybe this is Bill C-51 in action. You know, this guy's the main terrorist trying to change the Canadian law. You know, but.
Well, I think it's. I wouldn't be surprised if this is some kind of blowback from the Conservatives. You know, like Rona and these guys.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like people making fusses in Ottawa. Like this is. You know,
Wasn't it interesting that all those fences came down the next day after all that talk
Yeah,
of
man.
having to do
Oh, yeah.
construction? All
Yeah.
the fences were gone the next day at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
I want to know what the costs of policing Cannabis Day were, including the setting up and taking down of that fence.
Well, if you show up spoiling for a fight, their costs are obviously escalated. But
But they had 50 officers before 6 o'clock in the
But
morning.
hang on, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But compare that to previous cannabis days, and then we'll say, well, that was an inappropriate response. You didn't need that many people there first thing in the morning. You guys were blowing money unnecessarily, right?
harassment.
Why? A lot of those cops stood around and did nothing for hours.
Yep, that's
for
right.
hours and hours. They stood around. All they did was intimidate people by presence and get in everyone's face with a camera unnecessarily. What was the purpose of that?
Every car that pulled over for an instant had a motorcycle officer right on their tail with the ticket book right out. Except for a car that pulled over and had a delivery to make to the job site across the street. They were allowed to park there and make their delivery. This was absolute discrimination and harassment against our community.
It's not working with us. That was actually, being antagonistic. It's
Very much.
intentionally setting out to cause a problem. And, I mean, that's pretty clear. And the fact that this isn't the first time we've done this. We have, over a decade of history of cooperation.
It could have also been a test to see what we would do if they did cause violence. I mean, we didn't really react.
Test for what? I mean,
I don't know, but I'm
what
very-
does that
We would
achieve?
riot, hurt them back. I mean, really, what do we do? Hug each other?
I'm very proud.
Even if they have.
I'm
of the response.
Impressed with how these guys did react to that. Their
Yeah,
reaction
nobody
was
kicked
just
or
hug each
hit
other.
or put a cop in a headlock.
It was all like, very nice commentary in their behalf. So
I've had numerous
That's
friends
what
say
they
that if they had
asked
been
for.
there, they would have gone to jail with me and that there would have been police officers hurt. I know that there was an awful lot more police officers just blocks away amassed in a couple of different lanes waiting for real trouble. And it could have happened if we'd have had more people. I had someone say, well, you should have waited an hour before you sold. We had more people there. But more people would have meant more trying to stop me from getting arrested. And it could have been way worse. I think the forces of nature, the universe were on our side, and it was the right way that it all happened. They looked really bad.
I
They did
was
look really
early in the morning when I got there. I got there, I don't know, at 9:30, 10, between 9:30 and 10:30. But I went up the first thing because they had two of the employees of the restaurant, the little cafe at the very top of the stairs, up
Right.
behind us. They were standing outside their gate They had a fence there, and they had the gate
Well,
closed.
they were security. They were security for the
no,
art gallery.
one was like the one lady. She was they were security, but she was also wearing like the hostesses clothes, like they were restaurant employees.
Oh yeah, they were.
Who were told to go stand out there. They weren't like hired security guards.
One of them. Was
I
at
went
least.
up there. One of them is a security
was.
guard, but he's always there.
Yeah.
That's his. Yeah, they're usually there. Anyways, I went up, and the security guard. I said, "So how's it going?" I have my camera, and he goes, "Oh, we're expecting trouble." And I said, "Really?" And I said, "Who told you that?" Or no, first I said, "Well, what kind of trouble?" And he said, "Well, it's going to maybe get violent." And I said, "Really? Who said that?" He said, "Well, the police." And I said, "Dude, there's no violence here."
Wow.
I says, I kind of laughed. I just laughed it off. I thought, really? Come on. You got to be kidding, right? I says, well, that's ridiculous. You know, kind of thinking like, yeah, right, buddy. And I walked away. Like, I don't think there's a worry of that.
I think we need a public inquiry into what happened on Cannabis Day. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, it seems like they spent an awful lot of money for no reason. Like they were down there ahead of time looking for a problem.
And they created it.
They made it.
They brought the violence there. We didn't. I stood up and said 3 times to them, please stand down, walk away. You're scaring people. You're going to incite a riot. I said that minutes before they arrested me. And because they wouldn't flinch with what I was saying. They wouldn't look me in the eye. None of them moved.
It's obvious. There's orders coming from somewhere else, and this is what I'm getting at. It seems the more we can talk about this for a while, and the more we talk about it, the more obvious it appears that someone higher up was pulling the strings. And Jeremiah has mentioned that the fact of how, he heard on the city guys and cops, there was other cops somewhere else saying, no, go in and take that guy down. The decision was made ahead of time, higher up,
right?
That they just needed to find, all right, that guy.
Yeah.
And that was it. Guy. And it was preordained at that point. There was no, well, let's have a look, let's decide. No. There was no, you're basically, now you're on robot mode. Go get them.
That's right.
That was it.
You could see the hand signals between the cops and the crowd as they were closing in.
That's all there was to it. And,
Well, I hope they picked on the wrong guy. That's all I can say. I hope that I'm able to speak properly to the issues and defend myself correctly to what is really a very outrageous attack by public servants on a member of our society who's not only not preying on kids to pay his rent, but has been doing what I've been doing for the last 11 years at great sacrifice, because I believe strongly in ending prohibition, because I know how destructive it is to our country, to our society, to our families.
Did you, did you hear earlier my idea of the umbrella squad?
No.
Oh, you missed that one,
for being pepper sprayed in future.
I said we need to have a dozen or 2 dozen people dedicated who want to do song and dance with umbrellas, but their job is to, and you could write stuff on the umbrellas, but their job is to actually get in the way of the police all the time with their umbrellas to block the cameras.
It's an awesome idea. I'm just so sad that we have to be considering these things, and that we're anticipating in the future more of this.
Quite
it's
often,
better to just anticipate it and go with it and show up with a smile on her face, and then what are they going to do next? I don't know. I guess they have to.
I'll qualify my next comments by saying that I think this is the last death throes of a dying regime.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't put on these rallies for the last number of years here, doing what we're doing, building them to where we are, to have this happen. We did it because we thought every time we pulled off another huge, successful pot rally in the middle of the city on Canada Day, that they would have to end prohibition, damn it. Come on. But instead, they've decided to just attack that rally and see if they can't shut it right down along with the dispensaries.
My point is, it's prudent for people, if we're going to continue to protest, and we are.
Oh, yeah, we are.
So, and I think it's obvious that, the death throes or not, we need to also step up the game.
I love your idea, Mick.
When we go to protest, having small groups that are doing interesting things, that will get the average person walking by in the street, families, to stop and go, oh, look, they're people are acting out a little routine. There's a message on the umbrellas. While that's going on, another group 2 or 3 people just putting on a mock arrest, dressed up like pretend cops, but also with some clown stuff. Bring some theater and pizzazz. A little bit of, something like the people kind of like, that's kind of funny.
I love it, man. Yeah,
and
I love it.
you're poking fun. You're getting the message out there, and you get to dress up.
Yeah.
And do
I love
shit,
it.
right?
Art installations. I actually have been talking about it with Sensible
activism.
BC for years, too. Similar things. You've got great
but
stuff,
this
man. I
is
love
it.
it.
So this is grassroots activism.
Yeah.
So people getting involved. If people always ask, I don't know, instead of standing, because I noticed also when I was there in the morning at Cannabis Day for hours and hours and hours, a lot of people spend a lot of time doing a whole lot of nothing but standing around. Other than holding up signs now or sitting down with a sign, nobody's really. So I think we need to step up the game. And also, while these things are going on, it will put the cops and everybody else watching, media included, everybody kind of gets, oh, wait a second, I was about to do, but what's this going on here?
Yeah.
You divert attention. Now you break the ranks. And just when they kind of go, oh, okay, it's just that, something else is going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is real activism.
Yeah.
Now, rather than, they don't know who to focus on at that point.
Yeah.
Shit goes on.
So
And
if
this
you
is
want to take part in
smart
this,
way to play.
if you want to take part in this, you can join a group of activists that Jeremiah Vandermeer is putting together. He's got quite a little database of that going on, and we're going to do some of this stuff. I want to have an umbrella that says "Don't tase me, bro," and another that says "Don't spray me, bro," and another one that says "Don't gang tackle me, bro."
Yeah.
And I love your idea, man.
There's lots of things people can do if they just think about it, besides just carrying a sign and, the bigger, some people think that, if I make my sign the size of a city bus, it'll get, that's not always
Well,
like
a good
the
sign.
best way to go, right? But by, I think by dressing up, poking at rules that are existing and enacting sort of little skits, and you'll be on the news. Guaranteed, you're going to get a ton of media attention. So that's always, a plus right there. And again, it's, by poking fun and showing the absurdity in things, it's a good way to garner a lot of support within the the people who aren't actually involved in our cause. They kind of look at it and go, those guys are right. Gee, those kids are kind of fun. They're having what's the problem? Why don't they leave them alone? Sort of attitudes.
Easy to make the prohibitionists look silly, I think.
But we're not doing a good job of it right now, and I think
they're doing a good job of it themselves. But
they've taken a new tactic, and so we need to, I guess, adapt our game plan, and go at. But it's good to have lots of different groups, so everybody get your own little idea, your own theater group, your own performance, your own ideas with umbrellas, or dress up in raincoats, or like construction workers, or I don't care what it is, and just, and do something, but it will throw people off, and it will get attention, and just put a little message to it. And it's not hard. What? How it works real easy? Sit down with your friends, do a bunch of bong rips, write shit down, whatever you come up with, and trust me, you'll find something will come out of that.
Maybe even by Wednesday morning.
Maybe
by Wednesday morning, some people could have some ideas about what to bring to the courthouse.
Where are you going to court? Tell us.
It's at 211 Gore, which is kind of northeast of Main and Hastings, about a block either way.
All right, so it's behind the cop shop.
Yeah.
Basically.
Wednesday.
211 Gore this Wednesday. I'm supposed to be in the room at 9 o'clock, so we made the event for 8:30. So we can get plenty,
So you promise to
motivated.
text me all this so I can put it in my calendar and I don't forget or anything? You promise?
Okay, you're going to make me promise on TV. Yeah, boss, I'm
gonna
doing
make
that.
a promise on TV, absolutely.
Promise, yeah.
Look at your face, uh-oh.
You want me to text you with the details of the courthouse into your... Yes, I will do that.
Then I can just go save, and then it will tell me before I have to be there.
Nice.
The phone is awesome.
Smartphones are awesome.
Smartphone, yes.
I still got my smartphone. It was so cool when they put us in the back of the paddy wagon and I got my hand out and everything. To have my phone was just awesome.
I saw the picture, you and David doing a selfie in the paddy wagon. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I took a longer video of us smoking the joints in there, and somehow I only got the first few seconds of
I
it.
can't believe you guys did that. That's insane.
They hotboxed the paddy wagon.
Yeah.
No.
Now that's
Yes,
style.
they did. It took selfies
That's the 420 lifestyle right there, where you can hot box in the paddy wagon when you're arrested.
Thank God David
Yeah.
tackled me the way he did, and he got to be in there with me. And I got my hand out of the handcuff, and I had my weed, and I had my phone.
Yeah, Neil, kudos to you for that.
And I got to tell you,
that's
the
a
story,
show of class.
The story gets better because actually 10 years ago, almost to the day, we were trying to keep Greg Williams from getting arrested here, and they had a paddy wagon out back, and they got him into the paddy wagon, and David and myself and my son and one other guy, we laid down in front of that paddy wagon and wouldn't let them go, but they made me go to the herb school because they thought there was a problem there, so I got up and I had my skates on. I skated quickly to the herb school. When I got back, they'd all been arrested and thrown in the paddy wagon and taken away, and David was in there with my son, and they had 2 roaches, and they hotboxed the paddy wagon 10 years ago. I asked David, have you ever smoked weed in a paddy wagon with anybody but a Magnuson? And he said no.
By the way, I want to mention too, I forgot, and I got to mention it. 10 years ago today. Wow. Was it today? The DEA.
Yeah.
The DEA came into Canada and busted Mark Emery.
That's right.
Yeah, that ended up in the whole fiasco that took Mark
Which
to
is
the
why
United
we were
States and
protecting
everything
Greg.
else, and all like it goes. It's 10 years ago today.
Wow.
By the way, I just thought
my
I'd
God.
mention that. I wasn't even aware of that till later on in the day when I got down to the office here, and yeah, I guess July 6th. Yes, July 6th.
2015.
So a terrible day in history, but you know, things 10 years ago today, and here we are after Mark was taken by the DEA of the United States, and you know, for seed sales. Not only that, Mark is back.
Yeah, we're
still
here.
United States has legal recreational marijuana, and the states
and
are
medical
lining up for that one. Well, the medical's been for a while. Now they got rec. So they're like, and I mean, I know people in California that come up here, and while we're or had been the envy of Canada for some time, we're the joke of the Pacific Northwest is when you look at California, their program, medical marijuana program, and the dispensaries there, they got a mass
marijuana
business.
sandwich right now. We have Alaska above us, and then below us we have
California, Washington, and Oregon.
Medical, and then you also have California. So we're just right in the middle of a sandwich, and they're all doing better than we are.
Yeah, it's
Still
crazy.
better than Australia. Don't look at us.
Totally better
Yeah.
than Australia, that's for sure. At least
And
we're
I
not
think
having to
Hawaii's-
like saliva test
What's
every,
going on in Hawaii?
2 kilometers.
It's decrimmed
in
New
all
Mexico.
Drugs, in small, no, in
In
Mexico.
Mexico, Mexico's
Small amounts of
decrimmed.
all drugs,
Oh, yeah,
like
all
little-
drugs.
all
That's
drugs.
right. Yeah. And also in what is it, Colombia or someplace?
Portugal.
Is that where Calderon is from? Mexico?
Um,
Okay, yeah, it's Mexico. Yeah, Calderon. He's awesome. Well, no, he stood up to the U.S. when he legalized all the drugs. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I know. But still, you know, drugs are winning. Let's just
Drugs
say
are
drugs are winning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, drugs win. We can't. You need them. Yeah.
Because I'm going through psychological testing right now for Indian residential school settlement, and this test.
Okay, we can't. I can't have this conversation with you because you don't have a microphone, and we're
So
doing a
unfortunate
show,
people
and
on the
it's a
internet
one-sided
can't hear you,
thing. So I can't do this. I'm sorry.
It's in debate whether cannabis
Yeah.
is a drug, that's all.
Yeah, no, we're talking. Cannabis is a drug. Yeah, so is that soft drink you're drinking. It's got sugar in it, and that's a drug. You know, and
The
it may
gleam
or
in
may
your eye.
have other drugs in there as well, flavors and flavorings and dyes, and these are all drugs in a sense. All right, thanks. Anyhow, like I say, I can't. If you don't have a mic, I can't have you. Nobody.
The people
it's a
at home don't
one-sided
know what we're doing.
conversation.
We're
It
just
doesn't
looking
work.
over there looking like, oh.
Doesn't work. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Something going on over there.
All right. Anyways, what else is happening here that I can? What else is in the news? The Umbrella Squad, yay! That's about all that's
I
going
got a
on.
report today that they're busting numerous people on Kitts Beach for smoking weed too today.
Are they really?
And apparently it's a bylaw fine. It's like $230 or something for smoking on the beach. But they're specifically
Is that
targeting
because it's in a
weed
park?
smokers.
Is that
Yeah,
because in
I
a city
think so.
park? Yeah, because there is that law, no smoking
And
at all in city
vaporizing
parks.
is included in that now. If you're vaporizing.
In an outdoor space, though, vaporizing. I thought that
believe
was
so.
for like I think if you have a place where you're allowed.
Jeremiah, what happened on that? Did they pass that e-cigarette ban
What's going
similar
on?
to
Yeah,
similar
can you let
to?
us know? Do you want a mic? Can I trade you spots?
Are
I'll
there?
try.
First of all, I wonder: are there any?
Right?
Yeah.
Do
I'll
you
try.
know if there's any legal smoking areas in Vancouver, like where you're allowed to smoke, or is there none? I guess there's none.
Well, they were
in
certainly
BC.
debating at City Council whether or not they were going to include the e-cigarettes and vaporizing in with the tobacco bans within parks and all other areas.
Yeah. It seems there's just an awful lot of effort being put into throwing up roadblocks to things that the cannabis community like to do.
Well, they're going to close this place down if they have their way. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, I know they'd like to.
Well, no, we're a marijuana business here. This is a marijuana business. We fall within the restrictions. This has to go according to them. I asked Mark about that. I said, what are you going to do? He said, well, we'll cross that bridge when they try to enforce it.
Yeah.
We don't know if we are included in a marijuana business. That might only be dispensaries.
Come on over here.
Take a mic.
Yeah, you got to come over and grab a mic
'Cause we
there,
can't hear
Jeremiah.
you.
Jeremiah,
Some
editor of
clarification
Cannabis
on the
Culture
issue.
magazine.
Yes, please.
Not sure if we're included in the marijuana-related businesses because we are not selling marijuana here. We
No.
predate all of the dispensary stuff and all of the, well, not dispensaries themselves, but we are a head shop, and we have a political party office up here, and we don't sell marijuana on site or any marijuana-type products. We don't sell seeds or anything. Well, there's a Vancouver seed bank.
No,
Well,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
do. You
it
have a
does-
seed
it
bank.
does
You allow
say in
people
the,
to
Sorry,
medicate here
it's about
on a
vapor lounge.
recreational
The
basis.
vapor lounge has to go. Mark can keep his
Well-
store
But,
downstairs.
yeah, hang on. But it says here
Neil,
in the
nobody said that yet.
in the
Nobody
News
told us
1130
anything.
article, it says they're talking about the city councilor Kang and said that they've come to our attention, the vapor lounges. These smoking lounges come under our regular smoking bylaw. They will be shut, says Kerry Jang. That's what
Yeah.
he's saying. So
I saw it
It's
yesterday.
very possible they might try, but they haven't said anything to us. Nobody's come and talked
They
to
put
us.
it out in
here.
the media that they're going to close the vapor lounges down.
So,
I think
uh,
they specifically showed a picture of this place.
well, I know I saw that.
But
We were
that was
talking
in the
about that
News
earlier.
1130
There has to be
article.
some sort of loophole where you can
I
become some sort
suggest,
of private
though-
organization, and then people can just come in
Yeah.
and come to the private residence
Yeah.
or whatever it takes to go around it. There's a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a way.
We're not really sure what they're going to do yet. But
I'm
we'll
going to do bong rips on City Hall property. I'm just going down there to smoke, and I'm going to stay away from the doorway, stay
Well-
well out in the open area, in the nice public
We'll-
area. I'll
we'll
just
end
go
up
down there
fighting
and
it if they
put
try
a
and
blanket
close
out
this.
and maybe have a sandwich and a coffee and maybe smoke a joint there.
Don't do it alone.
That's what I
all
want
I would
right
say.
now.
Bring somebody else. Have a video camera handy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
the cameras
they
will be
won't-
rolling.
I don't think that they'll be successful in their attempt because we'll just fight it. You know, these hookah lounges have been fighting for what, like years.
But I was down there. No, I have nice lawns. I'm going to go do it anyways.
When
just
Bert-
because
when
I
Bert
said, you know
burned
what?
his,
It's public property, and I want to go and use it.
When Bert burned his award, Pastor Robin from the Church of the Holy Smoke in White Rock was there early in the day, you know, blessing the grounds, and they told him if he smoked weed on the grounds, they would arrest him. So I was like,
Well,
oh,
I have a
okay.
federal permit.
Yeah,
They
I
can go
understand.
screw
I know.
themselves.
And he's a pastor of a church with the sacrament. So
Well, I got a federal. I have medical
federal
medical
permit as well, so-
necessity. I have medical necessity and a federal permit. Go ahead, arrest
It's
me.
war, folks.
I'm
I'm
ready.
prescribed
I'm
legal
prepared to
synthetic,
get arrested for
pharmaceuticals as well as
smoking
regular
marijuana.
flower.
Please arrest me for that. I dare you.
Yeah, Vancouver
Go
starts
for it.
arresting people for smoking pot.
Any
I'm
day,
going to
I'm
be quite
all-
happy
I'm
to
all
have my
for
day
it.
in court. I mean, I'm looking forward to my day in court. You know, they want to arrest me for
Is
that.
that tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm an original
What time on
exemption
Wednesday?
56er.
Yeah, eh?
I dare you to take me to court.
What time Wednesday, Neil?
9 o'clock in the court, 8:30 outside to bless the whole ceremony there. And it's just going to be, I'm sure, you know, I'll try to go in there and say, you got to drop these charges unless you can present me with a victim. And they probably say, shut up, Mr. Magnuson. This is about guilty or not guilty. And do you have a lawyer? And I'll say, not yet. And they'll say, well,
Yeah,
okay.
set a date.
Come
blah,
back at
blah,
this time,
blah.
Are you
right?
working on a lawyer?
Come on back on this day.
David
I'm
is-
contemplating all kinds of
Did you
things.
talk to David today?
Today. No, I haven't talked to David
You
today.
should talk to David.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're running out of
Not rushing
time.
into anything.
Yeah, we're running out of
Anyways.
time. It's
Swedish
almost
about
6
it all.
o'clock.
It's almost 6 o'clock. We're running down. Time is short. The lounge is full of people. It's loud in here again now. That's nice to see.
That is good.
And people still coming down and smoking pot and defying the law and, yes, exercising their freedoms. It's cool. I want to thank Jeremiah for coming in today, sitting in on the show. Neil Magnuson, best of luck on Wednesday, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
My boss, Mae Moon, finally. I hardly ever see you.
Well, I'm always working. That's
Looking more cat-like all the time.
I don't know if it's probably a good thing. I don't know. I also want to thank Andrew Kavasilas. He's around somewhere, coming in all the way from Australia to co-host. But I think we got him pretty baked, and he wandered off.
Yeah, he wanted to sneak off. We smoked a lot of joints and
Lot of
extracts and
dope.
stuff. They don't really have extracts.
Oh, no,
there.
we've been getting him fucked right up.
Well,
Oh yeah, but I
Australians are
brought him like
lightweights.
10 different kinds of shatter. He's just like, whoa, mate, man.
I wonder if all the Australians are
Forget Tommy
lightweight.
Bong.
Tommy
No, the
Bong
ones
for
from
coming
Sydney
in and producing the
handle
show.
their
Thank you,
shatter.
brother. I appreciate it much. And and I guess what's happening tomorrow? Matt Murnau's the TMZ on
That's
Vapor
right.
Central's channel, and check
Yep,
them out. Our
TMZ.
sister channel.
Jam night here at the
On the
lounge.
front page of Pod TV.
Jam night at the
Jam night.
lounge tomorrow night. Jams in the Kia Green.
Big Jeff's in the house right now.
Oh
He's
yeah,
heading
I
back
forgot
out
about
tomorrow.
that. Big Jeff's in the house, all the way from Saskatoon. And when's the Prairie Cup? We'll give you a plug here right now. October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, the Prairie Medicinal Harvest Cup. Right?
We also have the Langley boys here. They came all the way from Langley, which is
SaskPrairieCup.ca
pretty damn
if
far
you
for
need
me
tickets and
anyways.
more information. Wednesday, from Under the
Eating all
Sea
the
Desk with
candy.
Marijuana
I
Man,
want
right
those
here on
candies
this,
so
probably
bad.
the same couch in that same ass groove. And
Close to this exact spot.
in this spot. Also, and on Friday, Jeremiah will be back with from what is it? CCN News, Cannabis Culture News
Culture
Live.
News Live.
All right. And good news. I'm
Redbeard
in
on
the
Saturday.
final Redbeard on Saturday. That's right. I always
Saturdays
forget
at
about
4.
Redbeard.
Don't forget
It's the
Redbeard.
So much
weekend.
going on, eh?
Sorry, Redbeard. Oh God. All right. Yes, because I'm in the final negotiations, and we will be having a very special segment, new part of the show coming up soon. Legal Eagles. That's right. We're going to be meeting with lawyers on location, their offices, and we're going to be taking questions in advance after the first the premiere show. And so we'll take all of the most asked questions each week or each month, depending on how often we set this up. So you'll get a chance to get a real legal opinion for their different topics. Some of them will be like, we're looking right now at a criminal one for what to do if you get arrested.
Like on Cannabis Day.
Well, exactly. Like
like
proper
it, yeah.
approaches and some questions about that. We're looking at some other ones with real estate. So we have some specialists, like for instance, questions will obviously come up about opening a dispensary and other real estate
Or
rules.
fighting the
and-
city to stay open as a dispensary.
or smoking in your apartment for
man, I
medicating
did
in your
pretty good. I
apartment,
really
things like
rolled
that.
up
So we're going to
and
try to
played
cover those types of
work
topics,
into City
important to the
that
420
much time.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
And other than that, we'll be back next week. More tips, action, news, and regular mayhem like we always are. Yo, 3 happy cats. Congratulations, Rufus. Sorry about that. I apologize. We'll look after you. And congrats, Dr. Clone. You bastard.
Oh, yeah,
No,
Dr.
I'm
Clone.
just kidding.
You bastard.
No, well done. And hey, till next week, we'll see you. Cultivate your freedom.
Peace out. Freedom.